Associates. I restarted my video program tonight because I wanted to tell you that there are earthquakes going on in Southern California. There are a ton of earthquakes here going on in Southern California. I attempted to show you earthquake seismograms from Arkansas. I show you those. But apparently you've not even seen any of the other earthquakes that have happened in Southern California that I've tried to show you. Let me turn this camera around. I want to show you this. This is Laguna Bell, California today. The top of this seismogram here starts off at 5 a.m. Look at the bottom here. This bottom here at the black line is 12 noon over on the left-hand side. So we go over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 12:07 this afternoon right here. What is that? 3.0 small earthquake. 3.0 small earthquake here in Laguna Bell. This is the southern side of Los Angeles on the coast. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 12:07 this afternoon. 12:08. More small earthquakes here. 12:09, 12:10, 12:11. Small earthquakes. Look at this. A full minute of small earthquakes here. Look at that. Actually, a minute and a half here. Look at this. Small earthquakes all over the place. Laguna Bell coastline got hit today. Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Now, I'm sorry I didn't show you what was going on over in the Koza Volcanic Field. Earthquakes are continuing. Yesterday in the Koza Volcanic Field, there were 35 earthquakes today, or there yesterday. Today, there are 7 earthquakes. 7 earthquakes in the Koza Volcanic Field. It's also called Devil's Kitchen. We have a geothermal plant there where men have drilled into the upper magma chambers of the Koza volcano to obtain steam to generate electricity. Today, there are not quite as many earthquakes as we had yesterday. I will tell you right now, any earthquakes that we see over in the Koza volcanic field are due to magma beneath the surface. We know for a fact that all of the volcanoes are recharging. That is why we saw 30 plus earthquakes there yesterday. That is why we're still seeing 7 earthquakes there today. The Koza volcanic field is also recharging. Recharging. I want to welcome my dear friend Carolyn, who lives over in Denver, from warm, sunny Denver. Carolyn, it was 83 degrees here in Morganton, North Carolina. I can only imagine what it was over there in Denver. And Wilson happens to be born in Denver. That's awesome. We have Sleeping Volcano here, also from Colorado. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Demon Catman, we welcome you back here from the east of England. Demon Catman was on our first broadcast earlier where we showed you earthquakes happening on the Pneumatid Fault. 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes on the Pneumatid Fault. Wild, huh? Oh, yeah. And that's just the beginning. More and more earthquakes all over the place. Now, I want to show you LA. Let's go and take a look at LA. Okay? I show you the Channel Islands right here. Look at all those earthquakes and tremors here in the Channel Islands. Even in the Channel Islands west of Los Angeles, we have a 3.0 earthquake where you see my cursor here. A 3.0 small earthquake here. Back to back, I believe we may have had 2 or 3 earthquakes back to back here early this morning. Okay? Just after 7 a.m. this morning. It's not all, folks. There's more. Okay? There's a lot more. Okay. I showed you Chino earlier. You didn't see Chino because the buffering happened and we just didn't get to see it. I want to show you Del Amo. This is the busiest that I've ever seen Del Amo. Unreal. 2.0, 2.3 earthquakes here at the top. About 12:07, or I'm sorry, not 12, 5:07 a.m. this morning on the top line there, right up here. Okay, 2.0 earthquakes. 2.0 earthquakes down here at the bottom as well, right there. Okay. This was after 5:01 p.m. this evening. Okay. Wild. Wild. Let me show you some more. Show you Del Amo. Fontana. Look at this, guys. For those of you that live in LA, Southern California, look at these earthquakes in Fontana. Unreal, guys. Look at this. 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes east of Los Angeles today. Look up here to the right. Okay. This is 6:14 a.m. this morning. 3.3 earthquake here. USGS said nothing about it. Nothing about it. A 3.0 earthquake here this morning. 5:04 this morning, 3.0, 5:19 a.m. this morning on this red line here. A 3.0 earthquake. Look at these earthquakes at the bottom here. Look at these earthquakes at the bottom. This is at least a 3.2, 3.3 earthquake right here. This over here is a 3.0. Again, after 5 p.m. today. Look at that. 5:15, 2.0. This is either a 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here. This is a 2.0 earthquake sequence here. Fontana was very busy today. Very, very busy. Small earthquakes hitting Fontana. This is the busiest seismic area that we've seen at Fontana in forever. I don't remember this many earthquakes in Fontana ever. Ever. Laguna Niguel. Look at this. 3.0 earthquakes hitting here this evening after 5 p.m. This is the coastline of Los Angeles. Coastline of Los Angeles. I want to show you light hype. Folks, this is Long Beach, California. Long Beach, California. This is by far the busiest I have ever seen it. This is the busiest I've ever seen it here in Long Beach. Look at this earthquake here. This is at least a 3.0, 3.2 earthquake right here. 3 or 2.0s here. 2.0s here. 2.0s all day long here.
Southern Xinjiang, China class, light, magnitude 4.3, 15 minutes ago.
Unreal, guys. This is unreal. Let's continue. Okay. I want to take you over to Mira Loma. Look at this. Mira Loma is just west of Loma Linda where the medical center is. Look at this. Look at the tremors here all day long. Literally all day long. We have seen busier seismic times at Mira Loma before. It's calmed down here. We may have had a 3.0 right here, though. This may have been a 3.0 here this afternoon after 5 p.m. Okay? Mira Loma, California. I'm not done. How about Moore Park, north of Los Angeles? Look at this. Look at this. We have 2.0 earthquake here. Over here, okay, this is after 5:30 a.m. this morning. It's actually about 5:42 a.m. this morning. Right here. This is a 2.0 earthquake. However, look over here. Look over here. This appears to be a lone 3.0 earthquake here. This is right before, literally right before 5:45 a.m. this morning. Literally. Then look at the rest. Look at the rest of these, except for here. Look at this 3.0 plus earthquake sequence here. It lasted just over a minute. How'd you like to endure small earthquakes hitting for over a minute? Maybe a minute and 10 seconds here. This was big. Edmund Kliuski is here from, he says, it's Florida. No, it's not. This is California. This is just north of Los Angeles in a town called Moore Park. It's actually a city just north of Los Angeles, Moore Park, California. Look at that. We've been seeing 3.0 earthquakes, small earthquakes, all over Los Angeles since yesterday. Since yesterday. Lots of earthquakes, guys. Lots and lots and lots of earthquakes. It's not over. It's not over. How about along the north coast of Los Angeles? This is Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey, on the north coast of Los Angeles. Nothing much going on. This is a very rich area here. Playa del Rey and Marina del Rey is a rich area. Millions of dollars here. People have yachts and ships here, boats here in the, what do they call them? The piers here over in the marina. Okay? The boat slips. This is just tremor activity here at Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey. I'm not through here. Wait till you see the rest of what I have to show you here. This is big time seismic energy in Los Angeles. Big time. Pardee. Again, this is a city north of Los Angeles. Look at the tremor activity hitting here. Minor earthquakes also hitting here. Minor earthquake 2.0 here, a 2.0 earthquake here, a 2.0 earthquake here, 2.0 earthquake here, here, down here, right here, and down here. 2.0 minor earthquakes all over Pardee, California today. This is one of the busiest seismograms that I've seen. And again, the United States Geological Survey is not showing it to us. They're not even allowing us to see it. Not at all. Not at all. Now, I want to go and show you another seismogram. Well, I'm going to show you a few more here. Okay? I'm trying to find the one I want to show you here. This is just one of them. This is Walnut, La Puente, California. This is over on the southeast side of Los Angeles. This is a volcano. These towns sit at the top of a volcano. That is why you're seeing 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes hitting all over this area here. Look at these. Every one of these earthquakes here is 3.0 to 3.5 earthquakes, small earthquakes hitting here in the volcano in Los Angeles. Walnut, California, La Puente, California, all over. This up here is just before, this is actually about 5:26 a.m. this morning. This is like a 2.2, 2.5 minor earthquake here. But all the rest of these, look at these two red earthquakes here, lasting 3 minutes. Both of these seismic sequences lasted, this one lasts about 4 minutes here. Right over here, this is the 4th minute here. Okay, here we have 3.0 small earthquakes here. Both of these red ones are 3.5. That's a big deal. Those were felt. These earthquakes were felt, guys. They were felt. How would you like to live in homes over here or work when you feel these earthquakes hitting? It's a big deal. It's huge. It's huge. Now, I thought I had another one here. Okay, that one's Walnut, La Puente. I thought I had another one here. Oh, crud. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Okay, I'm going to try to do something here. Darn, 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 darn. Okay. This is a program that I get from Caltech, which is California Technical Institute in Los Angeles. I am now looking for a seismogram that shows State Street. State Street is a seismogram that would show us the seismic energy around Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm in Los Angeles. It's right here. Look at this. This is State Street. This seismograph is located over by Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. Look at that. That is one of the busiest seismograms I've had here at State Street in the past 5 years that I've been doing these shows. This is huge. This is huge. Eric Morris is saying the USGS is hiding the information to keep the public in the dark. You're absolutely right. They're hiding it. There is no excuse because the seismograms exist. The seismograms exist and they're showing exactly what's going on here. These are all tremors here. Each one of these are tremors. Yes, I'm going to show you now, right up here, right here we see my cursor here. This is a 2.0 earthquake. This right here is also a 2.3, 2.4 earthquake here. This happened after 5:19 this morning. This red earthquake here is 5:19 this morning. This is a 2.3, 2.4 earthquake right here. Yes, I believe we have some other 2.5, 2.6, maybe 2.8 earthquakes here. This is Los Angeles, State Street, over by Disneyland and Knott's Berry Farm. Look at this. This earthquake down here that I'm showing you here, This is close to being a 3.0 earthquake, possibly a 2.8, 2.9, just below a 3.0 earthquake. The same with this right here. The same with this earthquake right here on the blue line here. If it's not a 3.0 earthquake, it's very close. 3.0 would make it a small earthquake, a felt earthquake. 3.0 earthquakes you can feel. Sharon is just telling me on our earthquake chat, we have an earthquake messenger chat. She just pointed out another 4.0 earthquake in southern Mexico, a moderate 4.0 in southern Mexico. That's typical. That is very typical there. Okay.
Location, Gulf of California, class light, magnitude 4.0, 27 minutes ago.
Gulf of California 4.0 20 minutes ago. Crazy. It really is. It's crazy. Now let's go back to this. Okay. I want to now go over to Imperial Valley, California, east of San Diego, but south near the border of California. Okay. I want to show you what's going on. You need to know. Right here. This is over in Holtville, California. Holtville, California. Look what we're seeing here. All of these earthquakes here, these are 2.0 minor earthquakes. All of these earthquakes here are 2.0, but this one here, this one right here is at least a 3.3 earthquake, a small 3.3 earthquake, just 1 minute after 6 a.m. this morning. 6:01 a.m., a 3.3 earthquake here. USGS did not say word one about it. Not one dadgum word. Not one word. Now, Wilson is asking a question over here in the chat. Wilson just asked what to do when a tsunami comes. How long do I have to leave the beach? If you're at the beach and you have an earthquake that you feel there, and it's going to be a very strong earthquake where you almost can't stand. You may not be able to stand. Maybe it'll knock you over. You won't be able to stand on your feet. It will be a very strong earthquake. Probably a 6.5, 7.0 major earthquake. You will not get a tsunami from a 6.3, 6.4. A tsunami will only strike when the earthquake is offshore from the coastline. It must be offshore away from the coastline. It's going to be at least a 6.5 to 7.0 major earthquake. You might have 20 minutes to get away from the beach. 20 minutes. If you're in Los Angeles, you're not going to make it. Because once you get on the highway and try to go east, guess what? The tsunami is already striking the beach. The highway is there, Interstate 5, 405, 605, the 710 freeways are right there within 10 miles of the beach. You're not going to get away from the beach. Within 20 minutes after the major earthquake hits off the coast, and you're going to feel it, you might have 15 to 20 minutes to get away from the beach. Far away, probably 15 to 20 miles inland. You're going to have 10 or 15 minutes to get away. You may not make it if you are at the beach. Wilson says he lives in the mountains of Orange. That's a good thing. If I lived in the mountains of Orange, I would make sure that I was at least 500 feet high above sea level. At least 500 feet high above sea level. Then you will probably be able to see over the Los Angeles Valley to people that aren't making it because the ocean waters are sweeping over the shoreline. That's what would happen. This is Holtville, California. Imperial Valley, California. Look at all these earthquakes. This is a 3.3 small earthquake here. That's a big deal in the Imperial Valley. I'm going to show you some more earthquakes here. You need to see it. You need to be aware of what's going on around you because all of you are going to feel it. Let's go over to El Centro. Most of you in Southern California know where El Centro is. El Centro is where we have a United States Navy Air Base there. United States Navy Air Base. Look at the 3.0 small earthquakes here. Look at them. Look at all these earthquakes all day long, all morning long. Up here at the top, it's 5 a.m. Look at all these big earthquakes here. These are all 3.0, 3.2, 3.3 earthquakes. This one appears to be a 3.1 earthquake. This might be a 3.2. Okay? The rest of these are all 2-pointers, 2.5 earthquakes. That is a lot of small earthquakes all day long in the city of El Centro. On our last program, we had a man named Juanito. He lives in El Centro. In the past, when we shown the seismogram to him, he says he felt those quakes. Anything over 3.0, you're going to feel. You might feel a bit unsteady if it was a 3.2, 3.5. Anything over 3.2, 3.5, you're going to be very unsteady trying to walk or stand. Wilson says he takes care of a gentleman who's elderly in Newport Beach. That's a big problem. I agree. It is a big problem. Don says he has family in the area too. I'm not trying to show you this to scare you. These are actual earthquakes today. Today, guys. This is happening. Southern California. Southern California, guys. Now, a little bit earlier, I showed you earthquakes that USGS showed us. I showed you earthquakes that USGS showed us. Okay? This is the Garlock Fault. The Garlock Fault runs from down here in Fraser, California. It runs northeast up here to Ridgecrest and Cerros Valley right here. This is what I showed you earlier at Coza Volcano. Yesterday, Coza Volcano had 34, 35 earthquakes here. Upwards of 3.5 earthquakes, every one of them. Today, we have some 2.0 all the way up to 3.0 earthquakes here in the Coza region. In the Coza region. It's a huge volcanic region, guys. Huge. Huge. Let's go back down to Southern California now. Okay. As soon as this USGS map resolves here, it hasn't finished resolving because you see this gray line here. I don't know why it's doing it. I don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't. This down here is the Salton Sea. This down here is the town of Imperial. Over here is the El Centro Naval Air Station. The city of El Centro is right here, just east of the air base. This is where we had a bunch of 3.0 earthquakes here today. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, guys. Almost insane. I don't know why it's doing this. It shouldn't be doing this at all. Beats me. Okay, it's not going to do it. The only thing I can do here, it's not even letting me raise this up down here. Okay, this is the Salton Sea. Down here is the Imperial Valley. Right over here, this is the town of Calipatria. There are over 100 earthquakes here in Calipatria today. 100 earthquakes here. I just got through showing you the seismogram from El Centro. At least 10 to 15 3.0 and larger earthquakes in El Centro today. Over here on the western side of the south side of the Salton Sea here is a town called Westmoreland. Here in Westmoreland, we saw 2.0 earthquakes and tremors here all day long here in Westmoreland. Unreal. Unreal. Holdville, way down here south here in Holdville. It's where the Salton Sea Desert Research Station is here. Tremors and minor earthquakes all day long here in Holtville. There is a town called Imperial, California right here. 3.0s and 2.0 earthquakes all over Imperial, the town of Imperial today. Unreal. Bombay Beach. Bombay Beach is a town here over on the east side of the Salton Sea. There used to be a town here. Now it's a ghost town. However, right here, see this earthquake fault that you see here in red? Down here in Bombay Beach, the San Andreas Fault is making sure that Bombay Beach shakes literally all day long. There are 5 earthquakes, 5 3.0 earthquakes here at Bombay Beach today. A big deal. A big deal. Southern California here is shaking. Southern California from way up here north of Los Angeles, in Moore Park, in Ellis, California, Pardee, California up here, it's shaking. The city of LA is shaking. Right up here, Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey is shaking. Laguna Beach, shaking. This entire area of Los Angeles is shaking. Okay? I've shown it to you. I've shown it to you. Folks, all I'm saying, you need to make absolutely sure that you can get out of Los Angeles if you can, when that earthquake strikes. And yes, it is going to strike. It is going to strike. And it's going to strike very, very hard. I keep showing you earthquakes here because I care. The seismic energy in Southern California is building every day. Unfortunately, USGS is not showing anything. They're not showing anything. Again, let's show you Southern California. They're not showing you anything here. Nothing. Why not? The politicians of our government, the politicians are telling USGS not to show you anything. They're telling the USGS not to show you anything because you will leave. If you leave, the politicians aren't going to get paid because there's not going to be taxes collected in the cities and towns you live in because you're going to go away. So if there's no taxes collected, the cities and towns can't pay the electric bill, can they? They can't repair the roads, can they? If you leave, the stores in those areas are going to close because there's nobody paying the bills there either. Nobody buying anything to pay the bills. So everybody's going to leave. If everybody leaves, the politicians are going to be out of a job. Can you see now why I'm saying that the USGS is not showing earthquakes? Because they're being told not to say a word. That's what's going on. That is exactly why they're doing it. The reason I'm telling you all this and showing you all these seismograms, the records of the earthquakes that are hitting, is because the earthquakes are actually hitting. The USGS and the other agencies are not showing them to you. They will never show them on the maps. Heaven forbid that they tell you the truth. Tim Gibson says report 3.0 and above. Yes, they're not. Yes, they should. But they're not. I just got through showing you the map. They're not saying a darn word about it. There are 3.0s, 3.5s, and I will even say 4.0 moderate earthquakes hitting all over Southern California, and nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody. I know people in San Diego, and in fact, a friend of mine from Denver just left there today to go east, I think to Missouri or something, to see one of their friends. He was visiting San Diego for a real estate convention. He said it was great. He sent a video to me of him sitting in a jacuzzi prior to one of his meetings. He says, "Oh, Ron, it's beautiful here. I can only imagine." I used to live in San Diego. San Diego is absolutely beautiful. But there are earthquakes hitting all over Southern California. You all need to be ready. All of you need to be ready that live over there in Southern California. No joke. You need to have an emergency preparedness kit minimum. A minimum 72-hour kit. Food, medicine, first aid kit. Medicine, I'm talking about if you are diabetic or whatever, you need to have your insulin with you. Or other medicine that the doctor has prescribed to you. You need to have a first aid kit. You need to have at least 3 days worth of meals. You need to have a way to cook those meals. A cook kit. My wife and I both have very good cook kits in our preparedness kits. Very good. We have flashlights. Do you have a flashlight? How about a headlamp? We've got headlamps. Do you have two-way radios? Do you have a way to communicate with your loved ones that you're with? These radios that I'm showing you now.
Gulf of California, class light, magnitude 4.0, 41 minutes ago.
That's that same 4.0 earthquake they talked about 20 minutes ago. Gulf of California, south of San Diego. South in Mexico, Gulf of California. You need to have radios like this. This particular radio would cost you $35 to $40. You can get similar radios like this for two of them for $20, called Family Radio Service radios. You don't have to have a license to operate those. You need a way to communicate. You also need an AM/FM weather radio, so you can listen to the weather reports and also the authorities in your towns and cities can also put out emergency broadcasts on the weather frequencies when there's an emergency in the areas where you live in. That's why you need to have an AM/FM weather radio. My buddy Don Patoka, who's a mod on my channel, who's a moderator on the channel, he says be sure to have your EAS NOAA weather radio. National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration radio. You need to have batteries in it. Yes, you can plug it in, but you need to have batteries as a backup. So you'll be able to hear your weather radio station when it goes on. You could also tune your AM/FM radio to a talk station in your local area. Those talk stations will also give you up-to-the-minute news information for your area. So if you don't have a weather adapter with your radio, make sure you have at least an AM/FM battery-powered radio so you can listen to the emergency news broadcast when something happens in your town, your cities. You need to have backup batteries. Wilson's saying batteries, all types, absolutely. You ought to see what I have here in the drawer of my desk. You ought to see what I have in our emergency preparedness kits. Wow. We're going to survive. We have 6 months worth of food here in the house. We have probably, I want to say, 3 months worth of survival food, freeze-dried survival food. We also have the ability to have power generated by the sun. We have solar panels and we have a solar generator here to help us. I recommend everybody get themselves one as well. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? I know I've gone a lot longer than I wanted to be. Now we're pushing 3 hours already. Yes, we had to go over, and I'm sorry that most of you didn't hear what we were talking about earlier. Because all of a sudden, we started getting buffered really bad, and I'm sorry about that. Adventuring Mike says, yeah, solar power station and panels are great. I've been saving every nickel and dime and penny I could get in order to have those. It's necessary. I believe it's necessary, and my wife agreed. Adventuring Mike says he's got one. That's great. It is. Do you guys have any questions for me? I'm happy to answer any and all questions you might have right now. I try to leave a few minutes at the end of every broadcast to answer questions. I think it's very, very necessary. I think it's necessary so we can talk, we can share information. And I'm always happy to share information that I have with you. Sig Sauer's here. Sig, it's good to see you, brother. Haven't seen Sig Sauer here in a very long time. He's a very dear friend of mine. Thanks, Sig, for being here. Appreciate you. Okay. If you guys don't have any questions, I wanted to share something at the end of our program today. Because we talk about a lot of negative things, including earthquakes and things that could hurt us, I share that with you so you can know what's going on around you and get prepared. At the end of every program, I like to share something more positive. You might call it a spiritual devotional. I'm looking at John chapter 21, starting in verse 15. Stan Grinfield's here as well. He's another one of my dear friends. Thanks, Stan, for being here. Appreciate you. Eric Morris is here. Carr is here. Thank you so much. I want to go over to John chapter 21, verse 15. I'm going to go on and read you some other verses here. So please follow along if you will. John chapter 21, verse 15 and on reads, "So when they had dined, Jesus saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. What did Jesus answer back to him? He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. Verse 17. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said to him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Jesus saith unto him, Feed my sheep. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself, and walkest whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he saith unto him, Follow me. Follow me. All the Lord Jesus Christ asks us is to follow him. Note what the Lord told Simon, son of Jonas. He asked him, Do you love me? He said, Yea, Lord, I do. He said, Feed my sheep. Brothers and sisters, it is incumbent upon us, once we have been taught about the Lord, once we know that the Lord loveth us, once we know that the Lord is our shepherd, our Savior, our Redeemer, our King, we are mandated by our Savior, Jesus Christ, to feed his sheep, to tell our friends, to tell our family, our extended family, our children, and our children's children about Jesus Christ, and feed them. Tell them about the love the Savior has for them, to share his gospel with everybody we see. Please, brothers and sisters, share the gospel of Jesus Christ. Share the gospel of Jesus Christ. May God bless you. May God be with you. You know I love you. I share information every day with you. Please share this message with everybody you know. Let them know that the Lord loves them and wants them to follow him. The time is far spent. There is little remaining. The time is now to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. God bless you. God be with you. God know you. God be with you until we meet again. We will see you again tomorrow evening. If anything else happens here tonight, we will be back on the air to share it with you as soon as the information comes available. We'll do that. Or if it comes available in the morning, we'll be here. Be aware. Israel has already said that it is going to find retribution on Iran. It's a matter of time. If anything happens tonight, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Have a good night, everybody. Please know that I love you. Please know that the Lord loves you as well. Have a good night. God be with you until we meet again. We will see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love. Good night.